entertainment, Stranger Things is over. It's over. There's no more episodes. There's no more seasons. There's no more waiting. It's over. And even if you didn't watch Stranger Things, um, you're aware of it. It's like you know about it, um, because basically social media, TikTok, Reels, like we didn't have this back then. So if you missed a show in the early 2000s, late 90s, you missed that show. Like you missed that episode. There was no, for the most part, there wasn't reruns. Like, and that's why reruns were special because they would be like, okay, today is a rerun marathon. Like marathons mattered because marathons was the only time you could watch repeated content in order. That's the definition of streaming. It's a marathon. You're constantly watching things. You're constantly taking in content. So Stranger Things was one of its kind. Is it's Stephen King similar? Absolutely, but it was a sci-fi version of that. So like it Stephen King was more horror. You could consider it sci-fi when you look at the whole universe, but its character was horror. Vecna was sci-fi. The curiosity, the special powers, and a group of kids riding bikes, and I love from the beginning to the ending of like similar to Welcome Dairy had the Losers Club. They have like the Dungeons and Dragons, and I love in the end they have their own kind of like D&D with Holly as the leader. And you think about it, Holly was like, who was she up until this season? I just wish they built on her character a little bit more. If this is where it was going to lead, like, could I have gotten Derek season 4? I didn't need him season 2. I would love them in every season, but I'm saying like Derek, you automatically like Derek. He's not a hard character to follow, but a character like 8, if we could have saw a few episodes of her before she disappeared, it would mean more. So when you saw her on screen, it's like she had cut her hair at this point, and I'm like, who's it? I said, ain't that the so? But the character building was good up until like just adding the other characters just throws it off. But even having Eddie was there for like I think Eddie was there 2 seasons. Billy was there 2 seasons, and even if Eddie wasn't 2 seasons, I can't remember. You still they built on his character, like you got to know him more, and the relationship he had with Dustin, that he was such a good friend with him. You got time, but from season 1, I didn't like the show with Stranger Things. I'm like, what is this? This is a kid show. This is what is this corny? Even and then I'm looking back at it, I said, yo, this is the first scene you saw a Demogorgon in like Will's backyard, like in the shed, and it was like, and the first scene is a scientist, and I guess that's why I was like, because the scientist is running, but you don't get to see who he's running from. He just dies. Social media heavy. I think this is 2016 or 17. I think at the time it was Instagram. I was just stuck on my phone, Instagram, scrolling and scrolling, and I just wasn't interested. And I think for me, when I really got locked in was probably season 3. I enjoyed season 1, season 2, but the introduction to Billy's character, he was in season 2, but his introduction to Billy's character, where was this racist, hateful person. And then when you look at his backstory, you understand why he's like that. He was raised that way. But he didn't really care for Max. He was just doing what he was supposed to do for her because that was his, sister. But I enjoyed it very much so because it dived deeper into the whole mind flayer thing and how he takes over minds and everything like that. And the fact that at some point I think Max wanted Billy to die. She was just, and then when he died, it was different. Hit different. Like I wish for this, and now that you're gone, I don't want this. And leading to season 4, even after this ends, season 4 is still my favorite season because everything is just pretty much repeated after that, right? Season 5 is just repetition of the things that we already saw. Season 4 was you watching Vecna at the height, most potent power, because even when you saw, I think season one or season two, when was it? No, that might have been season four. I can't remember when the little boy was in the car. Oh, that's season four. So when he was in the car and the guy was taunting him, like he was a police officer, but he was taunting about his past because I think he left somebody for dead. But watching Vecna do that um, with Max, and you don't even realize it, right? She's just talking. She's at a graveyard, and then she's just like float. Like before she floats, um, she's there. Her eyes are like flickering, and you see the magnitude of this man's power, and she's just like in a trance, and the friends are trying to figure it out, and eventually, the friends figure out to play her favorite song. So this is the first time I ever heard the song "Running Up That Hill," and I swear to God to you, I swear to you, I listen to it in the gym, I listen to it when I'm in the shower. I randomly just throw it on. I like the scenes with that song on. I got hooked on that song because of that scene. And she's running from the upside down, right? So that's why I say, or is that Dimension X? I do get confused. I'm sorry. But that's where it gets a little repetitive because season five, you keep running the same song, Run Up the Hill. It wasn't to the end where they did the Prince song, which I love, when Doves Cry, and something else. But you watching that, it's like I'm seeing this over and over and over and over again. It's nothing new. Um, watch season five, seeing her get in the tub and do the thing and go in the other room. This is the first time I've seen her bring people with her. You know what I'm saying? Or how she does, she goes into Vecna's mind. That this was a new thing. Season five was going into people's minds a lot. That was something you didn't really see, like going into Vecna's mind, like Will controlling him. That was different. Him controlling the Demogorgons. So that was peak of season five. But season four had so many gems, so many things they did the first. Like I said, this is the first of its kind. And when I see Vecna vulnerable, that's another thing. You've never seen him vulnerable. You didn't know about his childhood. You didn't realize because you start to think about why does he hate kids so bad, and then when you see his backstory, it was amazing. It was just like wow, this dude really got those powers by accident. I thought he was born with it, right? I didn't realize he went into a cave. That's crazy. And the fact that you, for like 30 seconds, you felt sympathy for him until he said, "No, I really, really just don't give a fuck. I'm really like that." And you're like, "Oh, okay." He said, "I didn't need the mind player. I didn't need to be manipulated. I did this on my own. He actually didn't tell me to do shit. I came up with this plan myself." So I was like, "Wow, that really took me out." But this was the first of its kind. I mean, the whole villain having a this is not. It's kind of like Anakin Skywalker. You know what I'm saying? But he just wanted. He wasn't really manipulated. But I think this is a great show because you got to think back. You know, when I was a kid, 5 to 30, right? It started with Power Rangers, then a little bit more when I got into adulthood. It was Goosebumps, and then Smallville, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer then became True Blood, and then True Blood became Vampire Diaries, and Vampire Diaries became an original. So that's kind of like the flow of everything as far as like the teenage shows. Like we were aging with the shows, and I thought it was great content. But Stranger Things is probably the best show, and I hate to see it go, but shout out to Duffer Brothers. They made a phenomenal project. Like and subscribe for the content so you can see more.